everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. This is the card that I'm going to make today, or similar to this, but what I want to concentrate on is the background to the card, and that is using one of the expandable pattern dies from Spellbinders, and this one is Botanical Swirls. So here we have the expandable pattern, and if you come in really close you can see that there's no cutting edge around the side of the die. You can feel with your fingernail where the cutting edges finish. So all these raised bits will cut, but that's where it stops. Now if you put that die onto a piece of card, that is what you will get. The little bits in the middle will pop out, but there's no cutting edge to it. So to get that into the shape that you want, you'll either have to cut it freehand, or you can use your Matting Basics dies and cut that shape out. And if you do that, then this is what you will get. Now once you've cut that out, if you look at all the landlocked bits, you can push those out, and that will give you the leaves and the patterns free in the card, but it still won't release some of the side pieces. So now if you look at it, the side pieces, although you push them, they still won't come out because they're still fastened to the side. Now you can use that piece as it is if you wish, but if you want to release the side pieces, you have to look very carefully at where you're going to cut this card. Now again, you'll need to come in very close, because if you look, this is a piece that should be coming out, but it's fastened along there. So we need to cut that, and then that piece will lift out of the card. This one is the same. If you look, you have your swirl which stays in the card, but this piece should be removed. So I'm cutting from that top part just down to the bottom part along there, and then that can be removed. So what you're doing now is you're freeing up the pattern in this card. So again, you have a little one there that can be cut, and from that point to this point it can be cut, and then from this point to this point can be cut. And if you just raise it, you can see along there that that needs to be cut. Now you need to go around all the card, looking at all the bits that should be released, and cut where you need to, but cut very carefully, otherwise the wrong piece of your card will fall out. And once you've done that, you will have a complete pattern on your card. So once I've cut my panel, I'm now ready to start making my card. I have created my base, and the video creating a hinged card will show you how to make that. And I've matted and layered an embossed panel which is going to sit inside the card, and the video using matting and layering will show you how to do that. But what I've used are the Matting Basics A and B, and the video about Matting Basics A and B will explain to you why you would need the two sets of dies. So what I've also done is, using the same colour of card as I've used for the inside, I've cut myself a small layer that leaves just a tiny border around the edge and on top of that I'm adding in my panel. But on the back I've put foam pads around all the edges and at strategic points on the pattern just to stop it collapsing, and that's going to sit along there. So there we have the panel in place. I've also put my lining inside my card. I'm now ready to decorate the front of my card. Now you can back your pattern onto anything you want. I've chosen to use some plain card, but you can use parchment, you can use glitter card, you can use mirror card, or anything that you have. It's entirely up to you. So these are the things that I'm going to put on the front of my card. I have heat embossed a little sentiment and I've matted it onto some more of the pink card, but that's a little bit too plain for me, so I'm going to use just a portion of the Want to Scrap bling and I'm going to add that to the bottom of the card. And then I've tied some ribbon and I've made a selection of flowers that I'm going to add to my card. So I've added some foam tape to the back of my sentiment and that's going to sit along there, and at the top of that I'm going to add in one of the bows, and then I'm going to arrange my flowers along the bottom, and this is just a dry run along here. So I'm going to put 2 tulips on either side, and I'm going to add these in with the hot glue gun, and then in the middle I'm going to put a deep peach coloured flower. I'm going to use some little fabric flowers along there, and then on each side I'm going to add in some carnations, and at the bottom or along the side I will add in another bow. So with the glue gun I'm going to put a good sized blob of glue on the back of that flower, and I'm going to pop it in the middle, and then into that glue I'm going to push the tulips. And then on either side of that I'm going to add in these carnations, and I'm going to pop that along there. Make sure that they're well stuck down. And then at the top of the display I'm just going to push in these white flowers with the centres. So I'm just going to pop them in along there, just tuck them underneath the petals. And then once they're all stuck in place I'm going to add some glitter just to make those sparkle a little bit more, and then at the bottom I shall just put in the bow. So I've glued my bows in place, but what I don't like are these stems that are showing. So using a small lily I'm just going to push that into each side. Just spread my tulips out a little bit, push those into each side just to hide those bare stems, and then once I've done that I'm going to take my wet glue, and this is Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear, and all I'm going to do is just add some spots of it to the flowers. And then I'm going to just add some of the fine glamour dust just to add some sparkle to those flowers. Just tip it on tip off the excess, and there you have some sparkle to your flowers, and then you can just dust off the excess glitter. Now, as a final touch, I'm just adding in some diamantes to the ribbons just to cover the knots, and I'm just going to shorten those bows down just a little bit more because I don't want them quite so long, and the same with that one. And then once I've done that, there we have a very pretty card ready to send to your friend.